Life, it's what one makes of it. We all done been down at some point, but to get back up and stay up, now that takes someone special. Phase 7.
This hard work and dedication to get me to my destination. These long nights of struggling will help me see my elevation. It's hard work. So let's just keep on escalating. It's hard work. Cannon to the top. Explosion crazy. It's hard.
What's up, world? What's going on? It's your boy, Black Don't Stop, here. Today is the day where I share a little bit more about my personal life, as well as my previous work experiences. And man, I gotta say, man, it's the weekend. It feels good to see yet another weekend. Also, it's just, every little step, man. Every little step forward, every little push counts, man. So, with that in mind, we're going to get right into it. And also, I just want to make note, man, that moving forward, you will see a hands-free me. No more of this right here. You will see a hands-free me, and you will also be seeing me and how I actually interact and interview with the people that I catch on the go, the people on the go. So, we moving forward, we doing things, and I hope you all out there are continue to move forward, get into your goals, and just being true to you. All right, we gone, and let's get into it. Good morning, YouTube world. Good morning, good afternoon, or even good evening. Today is the day where I share a little bit more of my personal life as well as my previous work experience, right? And last week I took you all on the adventures in my 98 Bonneville that I bought off of Craigslist for $1,000. I kind of shared some of those adventures and what it felt like to have those moments of my independence back and being able to drive my own vehicle and get to where I wanted to get to, So, and I also ended it at the end of 2015, December, the end of 2015. I had came home from Department of Corrections in Illinois in 2014, July 11th, 2014. So going into the new year 2016, I'm working on getting to the 2-year marker of being on parole. I had 3 years parole that I had to walk down, but being that I was being productive and doing the right things with my re-entering society, there's a very good possibility that I would be able to, be released before that time. So I'm looking forward to the new year 2016 right now at this point of the story. And also, I haven't shared this with you all, as I've been moving this story along. But I'm actually looking to relocate in California, San Diego, where my good friend from Dixon, Illinois, that I had the pleasure of, implementing in my story the week before last week, my good friend Suge. I definitely had aspirations to be in San Diego, in California as well, with him, and just pursuing this whole music thing and this whole entertainment thing. So the ball's in my court right now for me to continue scoring these buckets, continue making forward progress, and that's why you see me here at the basketball court right now, because the ball is literally in my court. It's been in my court, but this week I'm at the basketball court, and so yeah, man, I'm gonna go ahead and start with entering 2016, the year of 2016, the new year. I'm still working at my job, TH Food and everything. I'm also, at my apartment still, and I'm also still very much friends with Nia, the young lady that I happen to know from being in Dixon, Illinois, and going to church as well. Her father being a pastor or whatnot. So all of these things are still going on for me, but I'm just looking to get to the summer of 2016 and possibly get off parole early and get to California, right? So the new year came around, January, and I got my year lease is coming up on my apartment, right? My year lease is coming up in my apartment, which would be March, right, of this new year of 2016. And so I'm kind of contemplating whether or not I want to continue staying in this apartment, because I got plans anyways to go and be in California at some point, right? So not only that is California on my mind, and I even had ran this by my parole agent at one point, like, hey, if I transfer my parole to California, is that possible? And how hard would it be? So I had got the runaround, or I kind of got the like, hey, that would be kind of hard to do. You'd have to transfer everything over there. You'd have to have someone that you could be approved as far as who you're going to be living with or whatnot and stuff like that. And I didn't have any of that on my plate at the time. So it was a question that was asked at one particular point in 2015 with me being in Rockford, and I didn't really quite like the answer that I got from my parole agent, so I just left it alone. He did kind of say to me at one point, hey, of that California conversation, he did kind of say to me, he's like, hey, you're going to be going to 3 months, check in every 3 months. Now, if you wanted to go check out some things or whatever, I'm not saying do this, but technically, and this is what he told me, this is what the parole agent told me, but he said technically, your check-in is every 3 months, and if you wanted to, you could do something like that and kind of sort things out and still come back if that's something that you're interested in doing, where you don't have to worry about the actual, paperwork and everything being all buttoned up and signed and sealed. So that was something that I had thought about when he had told me this, man. I was like, man, you know what? That kind of makes sense. But I had told him in my head, I'm like, in my head, I had told myself, like, that makes sense. But I had told him out my own mouth, I had said, hey, listen, I'm not even thinking about that. You know what I mean? I was trying to spin him off. I didn't want him to even think for 1 minute that I would give that any consideration. But in my mind, the wheels were turning. So anyways, like I said, I was focused on trying to get to California at some point, specifically probably the summer of 2016. And I was just looking for changes. I was looking for changes, to make changes in my life that would ultimately push me towards that direction, right? And so what I'm saying to you guys is that just as much as I don't like working in one spot too long, preferably like 6 months to 8 months. After that, I'm kind of burnt out on the job situation and ready to move around and go to another spot. Just as much as my mentality is when it comes to the job situation, that's the same way my mentality is with getting to where I want to get to, like pushing myself to go to the next chapter, if you will, or the next destination. So with me saying this, my lease was coming up in March. I had to either resign or just do away with it. I didn't really want to be in my apartment come March. So January, February of 2016 of the new year, I was pushing to kind of sort things out with Nia. You know, me and Nia were friends, man. Me and Nia were friends, and that's really all we should have been and could have been. You know what I mean? But my crazy ass, man, I just wanted to see what the situation would be with me and Nia under the same roof, right? You know, I just wanted to see, and I had been in her ear about being under the same roof with her, and you know, leaving my apartment and just trying to make things right with me and her, the kids, and of course her dad, man. You know, because me and her dad were very good friends as well. So I was really being really risque about this situation, and wanting to leave my own apartment, my own space, you know, to be with Nia in her space with 3 kids, ages 13, 14, and I believe 8 years old. So 8, 13, and 14, man. I was willing to trade my own space, my own privacy, to be in Nia's world with her 3 kids. And like I said, we weren't supposed to be no more than friends, man. I'm pushing the issue, right? So again, I'm just letting y'all into my life, man. I'm not saying what I'm talking about is right. I'm not saying what I'm not suggesting anybody to have anything good to say about this or whatnot. You know what I mean? It's crazy. I'm looking back on it, you know, and I know that wasn't a good move for me, right? So obviously I'm giving away the story already right there, but so I got a chance to talk with Nia about this, you know, on several occasions, and getting her to come to the agreement that me and her should live together, right? And so by the time the end of February came of 2016, you know, that's exactly what happened. You know, I ended up moving in with Nia at her apartment. I turned in the key to the management and the office to my apartment, the folks that manage it. I turned the key in. They were very upset, you know, because not only did I turn the key in, but I didn't even pay my rent for the month. I got the hell up out of there, right? So, yeah, I ended up moving in with Nia, and I ended up, you know, just trying to make the best of it. The only thing that was good with my situation of moving in with Nia is that I was more of a help to her, and helping keep things organized and clean and stuff like that. And of course, you know, contributing to, you know, just paying for things and getting things done around there as well. So at the time that I moved in with Nia, I had ended up quitting my job at TH Foods in Loves Park. Now, the reason why I quit is because, again, I was getting burnt out. I was getting burnt the hell out on the TH Food job, and you know, it was time for a change of scenery, right? So at the time that I quit my job at TH Food, I had already moved in with Nia, and Nia was like, when she found out that I quit my job, she like, what the hell's wrong with you? You crazy. You know, why would you do this now, right? So, again, I'm letting y'all in my world. I'm letting y'all understand, you know, uh, you know, who I am and how this works, right? Again, I'm not saying that it's the right thing, but this is the way my mind works, right? So I got my own car, you know. I got my own car. I can get to wherever the hell I want to get to and get another job. You know, it's definitely not that hard, you know. So Nia is you know, one of those types of folks where you know, she's been working at Walmart in the optometry department for quite some time. You know, she's got about, I think, 8-7 years in under her belt. And mind you, she started out from the beginning, you know, working in Walmart overnight, stocking shelves and stuff like that, shipping and receiving, loading dock, overnight stocking and stuff. She started out like that and then made her way to the optometry department, you know. So Nia was one of those good old wholesome folks that believe in, hey, you start somewhere, get your foot in the door, and you work your way up. That's the way Nia was, right? So she was pissed. She had a reason to be pissed because in her mind, you know, that's not the way you do things. Especially being a man that just had his own apartment, left his apartment to be with this woman, be with her, and then all of a sudden you quit your job. So she was pissed off. We was arguing, you know, and she was trying to figure this out with me. So within, I don't know, within a week and a half, I ended up finding another job, right? I found another job, and that job wound up being in Beloit, Wisconsin, right? So Rockford, Illinois sits probably about an hour away from the border of anything touching Wisconsin. Maybe even less than an hour, maybe about 40 minutes of anything touching Wisconsin. So I ended up, you know, doing my homework, doing my research, and I found a job through a temp agency that was in Beloit, Wisconsin, and it was a potato chip factory plant by the name of Kettle Foods. So I ended up getting that job, man. And when I got that job, you know, Nia definitely was like, you know, she's like, okay. She was pleased that I got the job, bounced back, you know, got the job situation and all that stuff there. And that's what I do, man. I always bounce back. I ain't got no problem with bouncing back. It's just, you know, the long haul. That's just not me. That's just not what I'm gonna do. I'm not gonna do the long haul. You know, that's just me, right? So she was pleased that I bounced back, got another job and all that stuff there. I was working. What was that? I was working first shift. You know, so I was driving myself to work, you know, and everything like that there. I was getting paid weekly and all that. Meanwhile, in between time, my grandmother, you know, that was the hardest thing for me to tell her, hey, I left my apartment to move in with Nia, you know, but I had told her that, and she didn't think that was a good idea, and she was absolutely right. That wasn't a good idea. That was a ridiculous idea, you know. So she knew about that, and Malcolm knew about this as well, and he had always told me from the get-go. He was like, man, you know, I don't think you and Nia should really be anything other than friends. You know, there's nothing else there other than you and her being friends and being cool, right? So he too was actually right about that in me and Nia, you know? So, you know, as far as anything else, it was just, you know, life under Nia's roof with her 3 kids and just trying to sort stuff out. Now, I'll just speed it up right quick because there's no need to go into tick for tack details and stuff like that as to what else really happened under that same roof. But I would tell you this. I wound up living with Nia and her 3 kids for about a little less than a month. Maybe about 28, 27 days. And me and Nia had a argument at this particular time when everything had blew up in my face. We had just had an argument that was already an argument, and basically I was so mad at her that I just didn't even want to talk to her, right? We in the same house, the same apartment, whatnot, and I just didn't want to talk to this woman, right? That's how mad she had me. I think we was arguing about something crazy, man. Not nothing crazy, but, we were just arguing about just life in general. And even though I had a job and everything like that there, I think what it was is Nia didn't know how to live with another person or man under her roof. Because she had been doing her thing for quite some time, man, and here I was trying to make it fit, forcing the pieces to fit. You know what I mean? I was forcing this situation to fit. And Lord knows it wasn't supposed to fit. I knew it wasn't supposed to fit, but I was just, man, that's what I do. I take chances, man. I try to figure out stuff. I don't care if it's penitentiary chances or just chances in general in life. That's what I do. You never know what something is until you try. That's just me, And so we just basically fell out and had an argument about some stupid stuff pertaining to things in the house and just life in general, to where I was not wanting to talk to this woman, man, in her house. I was pissed off, and we had went like just a full day where we hadn't spoke really, other than how you doing, excuse me, and things like that. That's it. So yeah, Nia had came in from work, and I had came in from work on this particular day when it all blew up in our face, or my face. And she just came in, and she eventually, she just sat in the room. She sat in the room, sat on the bed, and she looked at me, and then she said, hey, we need to talk. And I'm like, yeah, we do need to talk. And she's like, yeah, we need to talk. And so I'm like, yeah, what's up? I wanted to hear her out, And so Nia says to me, she says, so you really just gonna sit in my house and feel like there's no need to talk to me and stuff like that? We just gonna do this like this is okay? And I said to her, hey, I don't know what to say at this point. I don't know how to even make this thing right. That's what I told her. I said, we just 2 different people, and I don't even know what the hell, we doing right now, And when I said that, she looked at me and she said, what do you mean you don't know what we doing? We supposed to be living together, and we supposed to be sorting this stuff out. But if you can't even respect me in my own house or whatnot, and you feel like we shouldn't be together, or this is not gonna work. And she's like, man, because I feel like this ain't gonna work, and I feel like it was never gonna work anyways, right? So when she said that, I knew the next part that was coming. And then, mind you, this is her house. So she can say whatever she want to say, and she could do whatever she want to do. And the next words to come out of Nia's mouth was, well, if this ain't gonna work and you don't like it, I'm gonna need you to get out. I'm gonna need you to get out. So when she said that, I looked at her and I just gave her a little smile. I gave her a little smile, man. And in my head, when I smiled, I knew, like, this was the ending that was gonna happen anyways. You know, whether it be now or later, this was the ending that was ultimately gonna happen. So I told her, I said, you know what? I ain't got no problem with that. I gathered up my clothes, you know, and her little baby was there, her youngest, her 8-year-old was there. And, you know, she seen me get my stuff together and loading it up and taking it to my car. And she knew that I was leaving, obviously. And she even did the child thing, as far as, you know, asking that question as far as like where you going and everything like that. And Nia had told her, you know, he just getting ready to go, you know, and he gonna go and you know, go do his thing, you know. So it was we didn't leave like each other cussing each other out or nothing like that there or nothing. I respectfully said, you know, okay, you're right. You know, I'm gonna get out of here. You know, and that's it, man. You know, in my head, the way things work when it comes to that kind of stuff is, like, what can I be mad about? I'm the one that made the decision. You know, I looked at it just as though I would if I went out and committed a crime. You know what I mean? Like, you know, I did it. So, you know, I'm not going to sit here and make any more, you know what I mean, rah-rah about it. You know, I did this to myself, put myself in another woman's house, apartment, or whatnot, under another woman's roof, and she's entitled, like I said, to say whatever she wants to say and have it however she wants to have it. You know, so I did that to myself. So I walked out, man, and gathered my stuff, walked out, went to my car, and I got up out of there. And I told her goodbye. And I wish you the best. And she told me I wish you the best as well. And from that day, you know, that night, it was evening time. When I got in the car, where am I gonna go, right? Well, I needed to go back home right quick. I needed to go back to Dixon, Illinois right quick and sort out my thoughts. You know what I mean? Because I wasn't happy. I wasn't happy, man. I was not happy. So I needed to figure this stuff out. And home, where my brother is and my grandmother was, you know, I was going to be able to find some peace and sort this thing out, you know. So I called up my brother to let him know, hey, man, stuff ain't working out. Because he knew I was living with Nia as well. And I'm like, man, stuff ain't working out with me and Nia, man. I need to come home right now, man. You know, I'm not going to be living here with her anymore. So he was like, text me back. He's like, cool, just come on through. I'll leave the door open. You know what I mean? And that was that. So I made my way back home to Dixon, stayed at my brother's house, which was my mother's house in once upon a time. And I stayed over there and woke up the next morning and, you know, waited for my brother to get off work. And we wound up talking. Luckily, this landed on a Friday. It was, you know, it was a Thursday night, but it was a Friday morning. The next day, after all this stuff with me and Nia, so the weekend was coming, and I just called off of work that day, and needed that one extra day, 3-day weekend to get myself together and whatnot, and so that's what I wound up doing, and so. Yeah, man, I spent some time with my brother when he got home and chopped it up with him and talked about some stuff. And he basically told me like, bro, uh, just figure it out. Do what do whatever makes you happy, man. You know what I'm saying? I wish you wouldn't have done that. You should have kept your own place, your own spot, and continued with whatever from there. So I told him, yeah, you're right. And everything. But again, like I said, I wasn't happy with none of that stuff. I wanted to be somewhere, which was California, and I wanted to, just change the whole Illinois scenery and stuff for me. So I was just battling with a lot of stuff in regards to wanting to be in California and pursue music and just the entertainment thing in general. And so I had a conversation with my brother, and then I wound up having a conversation and sit down with my grandmother, and that came on a Saturday. End up chilling with my brother all night, having a couple of drinks and whatnot, and then Saturday, I pretty much had stuff already packed up in the car anyways, and just went on down the street a couple blocks to my grandmother's house, and ended up hanging out with my grandmother and sorting things out with her. We end up, me and my grandmother end up going to nearby the Rock River, and they had a couple, they got a couple little park benches along the river and stuff like that, and so me and my grandmother went and sat down along these park benches near the Rock River, and we went and got some KFC, got some chicken and some stuff, man, mashed potatoes, whatnot, the whole nine, biscuits and all that, and just kind of chopped it up right there while we ate our KFC. And my grandmother told me one of the key things that I needed to hear, man, and it wasn't the fact that we all knew that I had fucked up in as far as moving in with Nia, but my grandmother had told me, she said, baby, people make mistakes in life, but you shouldn't let that get you down. It's okay, it's all right. And my grandmother told me also, she's like, whatever it is that you want in life, you can still have it, but just make sure you do it the right way. And that was all that I needed to hear from my grandmother, because, man, look, I've only been out 2 years, and I'm not happy where I'm at. And usually when my mind starts working like this, I'm ready to go back to the fast black stuff, go back to, selling dope, whatever it is, man, that's gonna give me some fast money and just, keep me aligned with whatever it is that I see best in life, So I need to hear that part. That's the part I need to hear from my grandmother, because Lord knows my wheels were really turning. My mind was really working on, like, hey, I might need to go back and put this cape on and be fast black. That, that one nigga in the streets. You know what I mean? Because I used to be that nigga in the streets. You know what I'm saying? Like the theme song. But, so yeah, I need to hear that part from my grandmother, man. And that's why I had came home, man, is because I knew that both my brother and my grandmother were going to give me something to put up here to keep me focused and keep me going in the right direction, So I stayed with my grandmother again at her house that Saturday evening on into Sunday. Went to church with my grandmother. Went and got me some church in my life. Went and got me some good old church. Listened to the word. Heard the choir. The choir ain't never changed over at Second Baptist Church. The choir ain't never changed, man. You know what I mean? They still got that good old church music that makes you feel like you at the bottom of the South. You know what I mean? Like they bring it they bring it in a way like no other. You know what I mean? A lot of very, very elder folks in the choir, and man, the way that they sing a tune, they get you to feeling like you in a 1954 movie. You know what I mean? At church, you know, that's the way they bringing it. But I loved it though. I always enjoyed, you know what I mean, going back to the church sometimes, back in Dixon, man. Even though Reverend Darby wasn't preaching, I always enjoyed it going back home to the church, man, with my grandmother, because it just reminded me of my childhood and going to church, and you know, her putting that 50 cent in my hands, 4 quarters or whatever. You know, it usually be 50 cent or $1, but it'd be 4 quarters or 2 quarters in each of me and my siblings' hands. You know, and the offering tray would come around 2 times within one church period, and we put 50 cent in one and 50 cent in the next one, or sometimes we just put the whole $1 in one and then pass on the next one. But you know, it just reminded me of all that kind of stuff, man. You know what I mean? Just growing up and going to church with my grandmother. So I went to church with my grandmother, got me some church in, got right with God, prayed on it, thought about it, and all that stuff there, man. And you know, at the end of all that, I had came to the conclusion, you know, like I had already came to the conclusion, but I was definitely signed and sealed on the conclusion of I need to take my ass back to Rockford, Illinois. But not to be with Nia, but to go back to that one person that has my best interest and has my back in Rockford, Illinois. And that person was none other than Malcolm Payne. So Malcolm Payne, I had gave him a call and let him know, man, look, me and Nia that situation didn't work. Homie, I need to come back, reset with you over there at your place on Court Street and do this one more time, homie. And I promise you, when I do it this time, I'm gonna do it my way. And Malcolm told me, he said, man, you're more than welcome to come on back, man. He said, man, I wish you wouldn't have did that, man. You know, but you're more than welcome to come back, man. You know what I'm saying? You did it the first time. I know you can do it again. You know what I'm saying? So Malcolm had agreed for me to come back to his apartment. You know what I mean? And that's exactly what I ended up doing. I ended up going to go check out Malcolm at his apartment. My grandmother knew where I was headed, and she knew I was going back to Rockford. It was only right, man. I had to go back to Rockford, Illinois, because that's where the opportunities were, obviously, you know. And I really wasn't happy with being in Dixon. So Dixon was not where I was going to be. So me and my 98 Bonneville, factory green, factory stock tires, factory stock tires and rims, the whole nine, man, we got up and went back to Rockford the next day after church, early Monday morning. And I had to go to work though. So I went to work, and then when I came home from work, I returned to Malcolm's spot, you know. So that's just what I had to do. I had to get up early, fit my stuff pretty good in the trunk, so that way nobody in my business when I pulled up at work. Didn't look like I had a whole bunch of clothes and boxes sitting in my back seat of my car. So just a minute, y'all. Just a minute. I'm being interrupted. I'm gonna get right back. I gotta go. I gotta go. All right, y'all. Okay. So we back. Sorry for the interruption. Man. You know, people calling me and stuff, man. Real world has to coexist with the YouTube world, okay? But anyways, I made my way back to Rockford that Monday evening after work, and on my way back, driving from Beloit, Wisconsin, back to Rockford, you know, I had a nice little 40-minute drive or whatnot. So, you know, as I'm driving back to Rockford, to Malcolm's spot, I'm just kind of playing the music, and I'm thinking to myself, like, man, you know, I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, okay, this is what I got to do. You know, this is what I got to do, and we're gonna do this. We're gonna figure this out. We're gonna sort it out. You know, there's always a point in time in my life, especially, but I know you all as well that are watching and following me. There's always a point in time, man, where things are gonna kind of seem like really fucked up. You know, things are gonna seem like a lot of disorder, a lot of, like how do I make it right again type shit, right? And for me, of course, you know, that's kind of more so normal to have it happen on a regular basis because of the way that I move and my choices. But for you all that are like Nia, you know, or that go and stick with one thing and make it work, regardless how hard it is sometimes, you know, those moments happen for you all as well, you know, just not as often, right? So I'm just, you know, thinking about how I'm going to, you know, do this and how I'm going to reset and make everything right. So ultimately, when I get back to Malcolm's spot, you know, I check in with him, bring all my stuff in, you know, instead of the living room this time, I end up having one of the bedrooms upstairs that he has open. So, you know, Malcolm greeted me just like usual, man, and nothing changed, everything like that there. Big hug, big handshake, you know what I mean? Big G's up, you know what I mean? And all that, man, you know, looking out for the guys and stuff and myself. So, you know, nothing changed there, and I was ready to go ahead with the game plan to get it all right. So I had my job already, nothing to worry about there and everything, man. So yeah, I just was really focused, you know. So I'm gonna land the story right there. I'm gonna land it right there. And right now, where we are at the beginning of April. 2016, and 2 years on the mark of me being home from 9 years and 5 months of incarceration off an 18-year sentence at 50%. You know? And so I guess all I wanted the point I'm trying to make with this story that I'm telling you all right now is that, one, don't be like me, because it's tough being like me. You know, I'm determined to do things the way that I see best to do things, as well as, you know, the rest of you all out there. You're going to do things the way that you do things, right? That's why we all individuals. That's why we all look different, talk different, walk different, the whole nine, right? You know, we're not supposed to be the damn same, right? So that's my message. We're not supposed to be the same. And you can learn something from anybody. You know, so my whole intent with sharing the things and the stories that I've been sharing with y'all thus far on YouTube is to just get you guys to see who I am, one, see who I am, right? My character, you know what I mean? The way that I move. And two, to get you guys to hopefully learn and pull something from me in these stories as what not to do. And three, just to just share the idea that we actually might have something in common. You know, that's what I'm doing with the segue of when things go left. That's what I'm doing with Go Power in general. When I do the $20 for the 5-6 minute interviews, you know, that's what everything that I'm doing and everything that I'm pushing on this channel of mine is to mainly show that we have something in common, even if it's just one thing, you know. So those are the three things that I hope you all get from listening to me and following me here at Go Power and myself, Black Don't Stop. Remember, the acronym for Go Power is good, optimistic people oftentimes want everybody's reality, right? So, you know, with that said, I think you guys are getting quite a bit of my own reality and my stories that I've been sharing thus far. You know, I am being completely transparent. You know, I am sharing with you all the good stuff as well as the bad stuff. You know, and that pertaining to my decisions and my choices moving forward in society, right? So, with that said, I am out of here, man. I am gone. And I want you all to have a very good weekend. Remember, it is the summertime, and the summertime is heating up, and the streets are heating up. So please be safe out there and understand that it ain't what you say, it's how you say it. And if you ever run into any type of negativity out here when you're out and about in the streets, remember, the way that you say something, the way that you word something could be the actual result as to how the rest of that plays out. Okay? So please be careful out there, y'all. You know what I mean? And you know, only thing I got left to say is I gotta go. We gotta go. And please keep moving, even in your sleepwalk. Okay? Black Don't Stop. We out of here.
I was a young nigga, used to slang crack, did time for serving cocaine crack. I was a dead nigga, then came back like Jesus Christ, and I explain that. I lost 10 years, I can't change that. Don't trip, Akeem, your daddy back, and I'm fresh as hell like a Cadillac. And don't nobody wanna battle black. I got too much that I wanna say. I'm about hard work, I don't wanna play. Blood, sweat, and tears got me here. See, 2015 is my year, I ain't tripping about no damn rent. Always nigga, I'ma pay them bills. Always nigga, I'ma ride them wheels. 22s on them Range Rovers, 22s on them Benzes. Now I know who my friends is. See, the money bring you them fake niggas, them Curtis niggas, them snake niggas. Like Chief Keef, that's the shit I don't like. Wolves, snakes, and pit bulls do bite. Let me tell you 3 things about life. This money, power, and respect, nigga. That's all that matters. I'm king, nigga. Like T.I., I'm king, nigga. A soldier general, bling, nigga. Got 5 stars in this life hard, but my baby mama ain't tripping though. She know that black is gon' do his job. I don't go to church, but I still thank God. Man, faith is what you make it, nigga. This hard work and dedication to get me to my destination. These long nights of struggling will help me see my elevation. It's hard work, so let's just keep on escalating. It's hard work, cannon to the top, explosion crazy. It's hard work and dedication to get me to my destination. These long nights of struggling will help me see my elevation. It's hard work, so let's just keep on escalating. It's hard.